Miracles happen. We all know that. Some analysts say it would take a miracle for Donald Trump to win it tonight, including the head of a pro-Trump super PAC. We'll speak with him in a moment. The Associated Press reports a record 46 million Americans have already voted. That's crazy. And according to the Associated Press, there are good signs for both candidates in those early ballots. The battleground states are still up for grabs, and Trump has been making a push for states that are traditionally blue states. So what does his path to victory look like? Ed Rollins is here. He's a GOP campaign consultant and advisor, also a Fox News contributor, head of a pro-Trump PAC called Great America PAC. You said it would take a miracle. Well, line up what a miracle would be.
A miracle would be you start with Florida. If you don't win Florida, the game's over. You then win North Carolina, which has switched back and forth the last two elections. We won it the last time. You literally have to win everything that Romney won and then basically add 5 or 6 states that are their states. So,
or a big one like Michigan.
Michigan hasn't gone for Republicans since '88. Either is Pennsylvania. So these are hard, entrenched political systems for the Democrats. I admire him for going in and trying, and obviously he's shaken the game up a little bit. And you never can tell. Voters get to vote and they get to participate. And I always say the election's held just to see whether the polls are right, and we'll see that today. But
elections are held to see if the polls were right. Oh, that's horrible. Well, they're holding it, and if you say it takes a miracle, if there is no miracle, what does tomorrow look like?
My sense, it depends on the size of the victory. If Hillary wins big, which I'm not predicting, but if she does, then I think to a certain extent Trump will basically do what all good candidates who lose do. He'll basically congratulate her and move on. If for some reason it's a very, very close race and his people are very angry and they feel they've been deprived of a victory, which they thought they've had for the last week, by misuse of the system or rigging or what have you, then you could have some antagonism going on.
There are a few states that look like you could really get. Nevada, one of them. I suppose it's still possible. It is still possible.
Still possible.
But who was it? Roger Stone, a longtime Republican and Trump guy, said he's run the worst campaign in Nevada ever. Why does he say that?
Why does Stone say that? I can't interpret Roger. I've known Roger for a long time.
At the end of this season, it felt like they should have been hitting here and there that they missed.
He did not run a traditional campaign. He didn't have a lot of the operatives that normally get into campaigns and run campaigns. She ran a traditional campaign. He didn't need it for some reason in the primaries. The best campaign in the primaries was Ted Cruz, who had really good operatives. But he had this magnificent connection with voters, and obviously, beat a lot of very significant candidates. I think he liked that. He liked going out to the crowds. He likes getting in his airplane. He likes watching Fox. He likes basically tweeting. All the things that you would want a candidate not to be doing, in the sense, not meaning the Fox part, but you'd want them to be disciplined. You want them to be in message. And until the last couple of weeks, he's been all over the place. He gives a good economic speech. He has laid out a good plan. Then he gets off doing tweets, and so it's been the most untraditional campaign. If he wins, it'll be probably the greatest comeback since the defeat of Truman defeating Dewey. But my sense is that this is one that's going to be 100 books written on it and 5,000 PhD dissertations. I mean, it could change American politics forever, no matter what happens, because the value of paid commercials, which is so much of a campaign today, has not had any impact.
Ooh.
He's being outspent 3 or 4 to 1, 2 to 1 in North Carolina. Magnificent outspending in the early. I mean, he's got some good commercials now, but it took him a long time to get there. And he has no traditional organization in the campaign. He's dependent on the RNC. So every element that you sit down and check off as a campaign strategist, this is what you should do. He hasn't done. What he has done is he's gone on and connect with voters.
Well, it's too early to talk about what Republicans are going to become, but it won't be too early tonight. Tonight, Ed Rollins will be our guest on the Fox Broadcast Network as we bring hours and hours and hours of coverage of this election on your local Fox station. The great thing about watching on your local Fox station is at 10 o'clock Eastern Time or 9 o'clock in the Central Mountain Time zones, most of them go to their local news, and that's when your local stuff is coming together. So during prime time, you get the national stuff. Then they come on for their 9 or 10 o'clock news, depending on where you live. And then after that, we'll come back and hopefully decide the president, and Ed Rollins will be here with us on Fox.
Absolutely.
Certainly do appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And